Okay, folks, here we go.
Here we go. Let's have a good show.
1B, stand by.
Yeah.
Yacht, stand.
Yeah,
Take it.
take it. And
Take
just go
it.
right now. Go to camera 3. 3. Go to the gate. Perfect. Just like that.
I'll just go ahead.
Yeah, graphics 2 is going to be up for the first. Okay.
Take it.
Go right now. Go to camera 3. Go. Yep. Go to the gate. Perfect. Just like that. No music.
I'm going to hand to Q. Sophie.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
On radio in the Canal Zone.
All right, guys, mic check.
Go ready.
Okay, Ricky, mic.
Yep, I am ready.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Willie, mic check.
Yep, let's go.
1B, stand by.
10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
and we're live.
Okay, and go for it, guys.
It is Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. out west, and that's where my friend Ricky Royo is. This is Happy Hour at the Balboa Yacht Club. You know, we're both born and raised in the Canal Zone, but now we're residing up north here. So, Ricky, what's up, man? How's life out west?
Hey, everything out here is looking good, guys. Weather is beautiful, but more important, welcome to all you guys to our weekly podcast, Happy Hour at the Balboa Yacht Club. As you guys all know, you're familiar with us now. This is Show 101. This is a podcast that it's all about the Panama Canal, its history, its founders, and more important, its people, aka Zonians. And to that alone, we like to start this show with a toast to all our viewers, all our friends.
Salute.
Thank you for joining us. Salute.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm toasting in my new Central Hotel Panama cup that my wife was out in Phoenix at a travel conference and ran into the rep for the hotel down in Panama. And she said, hey, my husband's from the Canal Zone from Panama, and we're going to be down there in January. And she said, well, hey, give me a call. We'll take care of you guys down there. So that's pretty cool. So we're looking forward to that, and looking forward to certainly more information about the reunion coming up in January. Our guests tonight are going to play a big role in that reunion and other things as well. So that's going to be really cool. But otherwise, a couple other things going on real quick. Let me switch gears real fast because we got a lot to cover here with these folks. But a couple of quick announcements on the reunion side of things, or actually, I'm sorry, on the Pan Canal Society side of things. Keep in mind that they've got the December luncheon is on the 6th of December. It is at the Columbia Restaurant here in Tampa. Beautiful restaurant, by the way. Great history. It's about 100-year history on that thing. It's at 11:30 a.m. till 2:30. Again, you know, you can get information at the Facebook page, facebook.com/Canal Zone. Oh, no, wait, that's for the Panama Canal. That's a misprint there. But on the bottom, you can see the website scrolling, pancanalsociety.org. On the Facebook page, so if you do go to the Pan Canal Society's Facebook page, they do have a form you can fill out to get reserved on there and whatnot. So don't miss it, though. It's a great time. Social event begins at 11:30 in the Siboney room. No host only accepts credit and debit cards. Keep that in mind. So no cash on that one. And then, of course, they'll have a great food. The Columbia Restaurant has some fantastic Cuban food and whatnot. So it's a very, very well-known place in Tampa. But make sure you reserve that soon because that one tends to fill up. And again, keep in mind, guys, the Pan Canal Society does a lot of wonderful things for the Canal Zone community. And less than $1 a week is all it takes to join them for the year, you know. So keep that in mind, guys. Don't forget those guys. They do a lot of really cool things for us, especially with our reunions and all that stuff. But also,
they've kept this community together throughout the years. I mean, throughout the decades.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially prior to social media, when the only link was the Canal Record. Which
the Canal Record, the OG Facebook. Cheers to everybody who put that together.
Yeah, no doubt. And by the way, it did go out in the mail a couple of days ago. So if you haven't received it yet, any day now, you should be receiving your October Canal Record in the mail as well. So check that out. But yeah, man, these guys do a great job for us, and they put on an amazing reunion. So make sure you take care of them and sign up and become a a member of the Pan Canal
Zonian
Society for
member.
less than $1 a week, man. Oh,
Yeah.
less than $1 a week. Okay,
Yeah.
you don't get anything for $1 a week anymore. You know.
No, you don't. Canal Zone history wise, we're kind of quiet for the next 2 months. Our next biggest Canal Zone historical day will be December 31st, which is obviously the handover. And then after that will be the January 9th day celebration, not celebration, but January 9th day,
Right.
we known as flag riots. But you know what, Willie? There is a new narrative for all that
Yes,
stuff that
there is.
happened, and it's starting to pick up. We should probably reach out to anybody out there that watches our show that was perhaps there, because I've heard a few people that I've grown up with that their sisters or brothers were there at that
Yeah,
event.
and speaking of that, this upcoming January 9th, we definitely want to do or whatever the date that falls right before, right after that on the show. But we want to cover that because it's a big deal. A lot of people will tell you that was when things got serious about. So some people will tell you it happened way before that. Some people say as early as the 50s with Eisenhower, but either way, that was when things really, I mean, at one point, Panama had broken diplomatic relations with the United States, which is kind of an odd thing to conceive, considering that the Canal Zone, U.S. territory, is right in the middle of Panama. I mean, you had Panama on both sides, so.
Yeah, and now that we look at maps all the time, isn't it hilarious how Colón is completely surrounded by the Canal Zone?
Yeah,
how that was that was located, and it's same with Panama City, because Panama City did fall within the in which David has gone
absolutely within the 5 miles on either side.
Yeah, so
100%.
yeah, but
and
Colón
even
and Panama City,
that whole fight for to overcome the yellow fever and malaria and all that stuff that Gorgas did. Part of that was to not only clean up the Canal Zone of the mosquito problem, but also Panama City and Colón. So, in a sense, they benefited from that, because prior to that, I mean, it was very, very third world what you had in Panama City. And so what they did in the Canal Zone, they also carried it over into Panama City and cleaned that place up and obviously reduced that whole health hazard. So that was kind of cool,
Yeah, canal operations did a lot for Panama. Like when the French were there, the French built a lot of hospitals. So,
oh yeah, well, unfortunately you had to, but I mean it was ever since the Panama Railroad, the country modernized quite a bit. Prior to that, it was a colony, but as colonies went, it was very much a place where you plunder and you get as much treasure out of it as you can.
Especially the Pacific side.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I mean, that's the way the whole entire New World was for 300 years or so when they first found it. But as things modernized and changed, then it started to become a little bit different outlook on things, and of course, Panama being such a strategic place has always benefited from that, and they
till today.
I mean, yeah, it hasn't stopped, so it's pretty cool. But hey, let's say hello to a couple of people, and real quick before we do, don't forget to subscribe. We of course now have both our channels now. The whatchamacallit, the SCN Canal Zone Channel 8 and SCN Canal Zone Channel 10. Those guys are they're both on our YouTube channel, because we had a couple issues with that Channel 8, so now we've got the backup channel. So keep that in mind if you ever need to jump into one or the other.
People are watching the show from Channel 10. That's kind of cool.
They are. So, but let's say hello to some people here that have chimed in. Our friend Leaf, I think he's back in Panama again. I saw he was at the Yacht Club. I think it was maybe last night. He ran into Richard MacArthur and I think Marion Tibley were down there. That was kind of cool. So good to see you, Leaf. Mark, happy Friday. I have my rum in 7. Yes, absolutely. Salute. Cheers, Mark. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
indeed.
Cheers. Definitely, man. I got my German beer tonight.
Mm-hmm. And there's HB. Listen, HB has a really cool segment that he's putting out on Instagram now. Really fun. It's kind of a Q&A. It's Zonian answers and really fun stuff. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But good stuff there. He's going to be joining us and talking to us about this and his endeavors there. HB has a big history, not just in the Canal Zone and not just him, but his family. He's got quite a legacy
generation.
there.
He's
yeah,
fourth
absolutely.
Generation son. Yeah.
But he's quite the thespian. He's actually been on the what do they call it? I guess is it the small screen when you're on movies on TV? I guess, and the big screen is in the movie theaters, right? So but he's been on the Hallmark Channel twice on that Mystery Island, movie. Pretty cool. It's cool to
And
watch.
an icon in the Ancon, was it the Guild Theater? He's been there since
The
he was a
Theater
part of
Guild.
the
Yeah,
child.
absolutely.
Yeah, so
No,
right on. HB.
so, he's doing really well. I am Zonian.com is the website. Make sure you check it out here. I'll throw it up on a banner here, or Ricky will throw it up here in just a moment. And also PanamaARP.com. Check those out. But again, he's doing this really, really cool. It's a Q&A, a Zonian Q&A. It's a lot of fun. And you can check that out. Also, TUI.org. TWO, two, like the number two spelled, TUI with an HY at the end, TUI.org. You can see his, I guess that would be like his sizzle reel or whatnot. But yeah, he's quite the accomplished actor, man. And it's going to be a lot of fun to have him on and do some Zonian questions. He chimes in quite often in our history shows and stuff. He's very knowledgeable on the history of Panama and whatnot. So it's I'm looking forward to that. It's really cool. Keep up the good work there. Rich, good to see you. Saludos, cheers. And there's our friend Nodier, our Panama Railroad
Hello, Nodier.
expert. Had a great show a couple months ago, and he was going over a lot of the history of the Panama Canal Railroad. It's a lot of fun. His mom grew up working out Barro Colorado, right on the island out there, and so her job, in order to get out there every day, she had to catch the train and catch it out to Gamboa and get off there and then catch the launch out to the island there. So he was very familiar with it as a kid. He's always been a very, very aficionado of the railroad, and he has some great history of it. So check it out if you haven't yet on Instagram. It's prrhistory.com. And just some fascinating information there. Both his parents were doing that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
I think he's putting out the most history and facts about the railroad.
Yeah,
than anybody else out there.
No, they really are, and they're accompanied by some great photography, and so it's really awesome. It's really awesome to see what he's done with that and taken it and ran with that history that really is a passion that comes from the heart. It's really, really cool. So. HBA paved the streets and provided. Yes, they did. That was part of, it would have done the Canal Zone and Gorgas no good to clear yellow fever and malaria out of the zone. And then literally across the street in Panama, you have it all, fomenting there. So it's just going to keep coming over. So they really had no choice to do it, but it was a blessing for Panama on the Canal Zone as well. So Yvonne, they set up. Yeah, they did. Absolutely. They did a lot for that country in addition to giving them their independence from Colombia and everything else they did, and now they've got a fantastic canal that, as we read last week, are making a ton of money on it, so it's exciting.
5.6 billion. Finally got the numbers. Yeah, so that's pretty good. It's going to go even higher, like I said, when the gas duct gets installed.
Oh, I certainly think so.
And the new ports come in. And then speaking of that, they just today or yesterday, they have a new operating licenses for fuel transport and supply via barges. In other words, the canal all this time since is the turnover is only that service has only been handled by like one or two political families.
Right.
But now with the new president, they're gonna open that up for competition.
Sure.
But when we have our captain on, we need to ask him what is this via barges. So probably these barges are gonna go out to the ships and fill them up. Instead of them docking, maybe that's what it is. When they're out there waiting for their turn.
Sure. You have such an extensive rail line now that you can move stuff across in while the other stuff's going on the ship. It's all transiting. Panama's charging for it, and so it's a great move.
So not only is the canal making a lot of money, but the railroad's making a lot of money, and the semi-truck drivers. Because they're also moving containers from north to south, or Colón to Panama, Colón to Cristobal Balboa. There you go.
No, absolutely. Well, and a lot of these areas, especially with Panama being such a central transit point in the world, you have a lot of large. Even though Panama has expanded, has those larger locks, there's still a lot of big ships out there that oftentimes it's easier to pull into the Pacific side, unload, leave, or load to something else and leave, and then transit it over by land, fill up another ship over there, and actually maybe put it on 3 or 4 different ships to go to this place, to this place, to this place. There's a lot of reasons why that logistics point is going to make sense for Panama. It's not just ships going through the canal. It's using that as the transit point, and so anyway, that's for another another episode. So North Carolina, right on. How you doing, Maisie? Good to see you. Absolutely.
Oh yes, yes. Hello.
Carolina, I imagine you're probably seeing all those leaves turning nowadays. It's October, so we're getting to see
Fall,
all
yeah.
that stuff. But anyhow, let's just move things right along here. We're gonna try. We tried to stretch this out, but we got nothing more to stretch it out with. So we are gonna move right along. One of our best shows last year. And then certainly one of our original shows. My first show on here, my guest was Cassie Sprague, and then she joined us last year with Al and had an absolutely fantastic show. And they're joining us today. Really, really awesome time. We have another generation of Sprague joining us as well. So we're going to introduce these guys right now and get them out here to talk about all things Al Sprague and more. So welcome Alfred and Cassie to the show. Got to see you guys.
Hey, everybody.
So daughter and grandson.
Yes.
Correct.
That's it.
That's it. So, again, guys, as you know, Al Sprague is an absolute legend from the Canal Zone, a legend on this show as well. But he left a legacy not just in the Canal Zone, but in Panama as well that goes on. It's celebrated at both reunions in a big way. A lot of really cool stuff going on now in Panama with the reunion and with activities that you guys are doing, for your dad and to celebrate his history there. So let's just jump right into some of that here. And then we're going to switch gears here and meet the next generation of Al Sprague's adventure and story. And this guy is quite the adventure, let me tell you, because he hops around on a boat and he's sailing all around the Caribbean and just having a blast. He puts it out there on Instagram, so you definitely want to follow him there. But real quick, Cassie, let's jump into what's going on right now in Panama, because there's a lot of good stuff going on with Al Sprague and Panama Arts.
Yeah, absolutely. As you know, we lost my dad May 1st. And it's been just a whirlwind, actually, since he passed. We had a celebration of life in Orlando, in which we had a tremendous amount of people that attended. And I hope that you'll be able to play that song that Mark Cicero
Yes.
he wrote for it, and it was perfect for our celebration of life. It just kind of wraps Dad up perfectly. And so since then, we had the celebration of life. We have planned December 4th. We will have his last exhibit per se in Panama. It's going to be at Te Cafe on December 4th from 6 to 9. And we will be having a little bit of originals that we have left in our inventory. And then we're really opening the door and showing people what the next step is going to be for Al Sprague Art in Panama, which will be our giclées or our reproductions on canvas. And we're going to be doing something real kind of special. We're going to be releasing something called our classic collection, which is essentially made from the pieces that are part of our family collection that we will release for a limited time period. 5 each we will sell at full size giclées. And so we're rolling that out at this exhibit as well.
Awesome. And we'll go over all the different things that they have, because there's a ton. Let me tell you what, if there's ever going to be a Panama Arts, a Al Sprague collection, a Pasha's Perch opportunity to really load up for Christmas, this is the season to do it, because they have a ton of really awesome things going on. But the other thing that you're doing for the Canal Zone reunion in January, you have the Al Sprague tour. Tell us what that's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited because we are sponsors for the event this year. So we came in as a sponsor for the Canal Zone reunion. And one of the things that we are providing for them are 2 tours that we do. One is on Wednesday and one is on Thursday. And we did this last year. One of my friends came to me and said, hey, it would be great if we would do some kind of tour for the event. And so I said, okay, I can put something together. And the tour will take us from the Radisson Hotel, and we'll first go to the marker on the causeway. And Alfred will be with me. He's my partner in crime down in Panama for the reunion. And we're going to be able to share stories, personal stories about Dad and his career, how it all started. From the Causeway Marker, we'll go to the administration building and we'll have access to the second floor. Not everybody can go up to the second floor.
Nice.
So we'll go to the second floor around the rotunda where his permanent collection is held. And we'll get to view those.
And Alfred, we call that palanca down in Panama. When you're able to go to places nobody else is able to go to, that's called palanca. And it's like you got to know somebody to get access to that kind of stuff. So
we actually have kind of a funny story about that last year. We went, remember this, Alfred? We went in and I had talked to Ilya, who's the assistant director of the vice administrator of the Canal, and she said, "Oh no, you'll have no problems going in.
Of course,
you can take your group up there, no problems." We go in, the security guard goes, "Oh no, you can't go above the first floor." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I have permission." And then I finally just go up to him and I go, "Hey, listen, I am Al Sprague's daughter, and I have this group, and I need to go up there." And he goes, "Oh, you're Al Sprague's daughter. Okay, let me see. I think you can only have 2 people though at a time to go up there." So then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? 2 people. I'm going to have to take each, these people up there."
About a 3-hour tour.
And then someone was walking out the door and I stopped him and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm Al Sprague's daughter and I have this group of people I got to show them. And they're telling me his work and they're telling me I can't get up to the top floor." And he said, "Good, except for 2 people at a time." And he's like, "Oh no, you're Al Sprague's daughter. You can go up there." But then he came back and he did tell me they had to limit to, because it's a secure area. They had to limit it to 2 people at a time, which was fine. We just funneled people up and we walked them around and I shared information about the pieces.
Right on.
So and after that, we leave and we go to the Sheraton Grand. I don't know if you've ever seen that painting before. And I forgot to send you all these pictures, Willie, but I have all these pictures.
That's okay.
We're going to the Sheraton Grand, which has the largest painting Dad ever painted. And I will share the story behind how it made its place down to the lobby. It's kind of a funny story. And then we will leave there and go to the executive hotel where they have the last Canal painting that he ever painted. And we just installed a full mural in their cafe of all of it's a collage of his artwork.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we're going to have our lunch there and then we'll return to the hotel.
Very good. Very good. And again, guys, canalzonereunion.com or facebook.com/canalzonereunion. They'll have all the access there to the website to sign up, because you have to buy tickets and register for this. So make sure you get signed up. Don't be a typical Zonian and wait till the last minute and then not have room.
Well,
so
things are selling out.
Yeah, of course.
Already. So
listen, this Canal Zone reunion is something. It's a different kind of reunion. We've discussed it several times on the show now. It's a lot of experiences. You're doing canal transits, train rides. You're going to see these art exhibits, and I mean, you're doing a lot of things. And so there's a lot of excitement there that it's not that you don't have that at the Canal Zone reunion here in Orlando, but it's a different kind of reunion, right?
It's a totally different experience. I mean, Ricky, I don't know if you've been down there. Have you been?
Not to the reunions, no.
Okay, well, I tell everybody, don't go down there expecting it's going to be like the reunion in Orlando, because it is not.
It's not a hangout.
Yeah, it's a total different thing. People are doing different things all day long, and then everybody comes together at night, and they have a nice happy hour together. It's a fabulous event. I totally support it. That's why I came on board as a sponsor this year.
Absolutely. Well, Alfred, let me ask you, we saw you in Orlando. Obviously, you've been there several times. Have you been to the Canal Zone reunion yet?
Yes, I was there last year.
You were? Okay.
That was my first one, I believe. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So
I had a great time. It was awesome. Enjoyed it.
Well, let's learn about you and teach the Canal Zone who you are. Again, you're Al Sprague's grandson. What do you do? You sail boat?
Yeah, I sail around right now.
I love it.
I worked for several years on the water, and I had this dream of sailing away. And so I saved up my money for about 5 years and then just quit my job. And this past year I went all the way down to the Exumas in the Bahamas. And I spent about 5 months in the Bahamas on my boat and then sailed back without an engine all the way back to the States. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Broke and working on my boat.
Broke, but you got some great stories. You know?
Plenty of stories. Yeah, absolutely. It was worth it. And so now I'm just trying to figure out the next step to keep it going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, one of those steps is this line of clothing that you have out that obviously celebrating your grandfather's great legacy, Pasha's Perch. Tell us about that, how that got started, and what you have going on there. And guys, as you can see on the bottom there, there's a pre-holiday code there you can use to get a great discount on these really, really cool products. But give us the story on that.
Yeah, so last Christmas, our family went to Hawaii, and I bought myself a traditional Hawaiian shirt, as you should when you go to Hawaii, and just started thinking, like, why don't we put some of my grandfather's art on shirts? Like, that sounds like a great idea. And I wanted to find a way to share my grandfather's art with people that can't afford to put fine art on their wall, or maybe they don't even have a wall like me. And so I wanted to find a different way to get his name out there because, at the end of the day, we need to get some exposure. He's pretty popular for Panamanians and for American Panamanians. For us, he's a big guy, but a lot of people don't know about him. And if they did know about him, then they would be amazed because his stuff is amazing. And I feel like this is a good way to get that exposure and just finding unique ways to get his name out there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then the name Pasha's Perch, so that comes from your boat. So
Right.
What's that history from? And obviously we know your grandfather's history with that name, but
Right.
how did that all come to be?
So I decided to name my boat after my grandfather's boat, the Pasha. And then I just tried to find something catchy, and Pasha's Perch sounded catchy, so I went with it.
No, it
And
works.
just stuck with
It rolls off the tongue. It's easy
Yep,
to tell somebody,
that's
check
it.
this website out.
That's really the only thing that made me decide that. It just sounded cool.
Hey, it
Yeah.
works. It works.
Yeah.
So what would be your favorite design if you had to pick one?
Oh, well, the shirt I'm wearing now is called the Running Dorado. This is a pretty good one. But my favorite would probably be the Queen Triggerfish. That's my personal favorite. A lot of people like the Papagayo. That's a good one. But they've all, I don't know, they're all pretty good. I like almost all of them. I don't think there's
They all
anyone I
have their
don't
own
like.
character.
Yeah,
Sure.
they're all different in their own way, but they're all pretty cool. And yeah, I can't really pick a favorite. I wouldn't say I could.
Well, and that's because there's so many really good ones out there. You don't want to pick a favorite. You want to have a favorite line of shirts to wear.
Yeah, there you go.
So now you have shirts. What else are you having, or what's in the works or in the plans for Pasha's Perch?
We have these collared shirts that I'm wearing now, where the designs are kind of all over the shirt. We also have some T-shirts that have some other designs of his on there, but they're a little less busy, like more casual. We have mugs with different block prints and designs on them, and bags. We have all sorts of different merchandise that have the designs on them. So it's worth taking a look and scrolling through there. I mean, there's a lot of cool things. I think one thing a lot of people haven't seen that I really like are the pint glasses. I know you Zonians like to drink beer.
Indeed.
So, you should probably get on there and buy a pint glass because these things are super cool. If you go over to Drinkware there,
There we go.
and there's some mugs right there, as you can tell.
Okay.
And then if you keep scrolling, you're going to see some shaker glasses down there. There they are.
There we
Those
go.
things look sick. I don't know why anyone hasn't gotten them yet. But,
Oh, we've had a few sales.
Okay.
But yeah, those things are really cool. I drink beer out of them. I don't know about you guys.
I
I
definitely
use
have to
it.
order that one because that'll be our toast here and toast through on one of those for sure. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one on the left looks pretty cool with the
Yeah, I
fishing.
like that. Absolutely.
But yeah, on there I also have, I take photographs of my adventures. So there's not too many in there right now, but I like to just keep track of what I'm doing. So
Nice.
I try to go take photos in different places that I travel to. But that's just a little side thing for me.
And
but-
what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Sailing the Pasha.
Sailing the Pasha. Check it out, guys. A lot of cool videos and pictures there. It was 5 months that we were all on board with him. He was putting stuff out there constantly, telling us all his fun stuff, his trials, his tribulations. I mean, it was all
Yeah,
there,
there's
man.
a
It
lot
was-
of trials.
Yeah, exactly.
And listen, how about your chances of transiting the Panama Canal? Is that in the future?
Yeah, sure. It's pretty expensive to transit the Panama Canal, but I'd like to do it. I mean, this boat is, you could go across an ocean in it, but it's not really built for that, you know? So,
Okay.
my idea, I would say, would be if I could get it to Panama, get to the Pacific side, and maybe just keep it down there and go to the Perlis. And, you know,
Oh,
if I
nice.
wanted to cross an ocean, I'd get something bigger.
Yeah, heck yeah. So now, give us your memories of your grandfather, and did the art bug hit you in any way, shape, or form? I mean, obviously through the apparel a little bit, but more like the business side
You
of it.
know, as far as like being able to draw and paint, I didn't really get that. But I would say there's like I have the creative, you know, drive. I would say that I
Sure.
like to make little things like here and there. I like to take photos, and I'd
Yeah.
say I have an eye for art. Like I can look at a shirt. Like mom can send me a design of a shirt, and I can tell you like, oh, this part needs to be adjusted. I don't like that. That
Oh,
doesn't
nice.
look great.
Okay.
Or you know, I have an eye for it, but I don't think I could paint a painting like my grandfather. That's for sure.
Well, I don't think anybody
But
can.
as far as the eye goes, yeah,
You
I can
know,
see it.
it was
Mhm.
almost a no miss because not only is my dad an artist, but my mother is also an artist. So
Right.
Yes, I remember that.
we
Yes.
have double on my side.
Yeah.
And then he has an aunt from his dad's side that is an artist. So,
Okay.
you know, surely somebody,
Yeah,
one of
that-
our
it's-
kids was
it's-
going to get some kind of
Yeah,
artistic
no kidding.
talent.
Yeah, the odds are definitely good. No, that's awesome. Now, as far as you and your grandfather and hanging out, what are your memories of your grandfather? Because we have some cool memories. Our longest show on here was with your grandfather. I mean, it went, and it was a show that everybody stayed on watching. It was just fascinating to listen to his stories, and he was a rebel rouser, which was cool, which resonates with me. But your story with your grandpa.
Well, most of my time with my grandpa was filled with a lot of inappropriate jokes. That was very common. You know, when I gotten older, he was already kind of he wasn't moving around as much. You know, I remember when I was young, like we used to go fishing and stuff when he would come visit. But you know, by the time I had gotten older, he was he was barely getting around the house. So
Right.
most of the time was spent at the house, just hanging out and him telling stories and jokes and you know, and singing his songs or whatever he was doing. But you know, most of it was at his house. This was most of the memories growing up.
Sure.
Just him being him, you know, just always cheering you on, always wanting to know what's going on, and you know, always creating something and wanting you to come in and create with him, you know, or he'd want to show you something, and he'd get all upset with me because you know, I have like a short attention span, and if I didn't get interested in it, I'd be like, yeah, that's like it's cool, but you know, I'm not too interested in it. He'd get all
Right.
upset.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
But
But
no,
he was
he
one of your
always trying to
biggest
show me something.
cheerleaders. He was one of Alfred's biggest cheerleaders when he was working on the barges and
Oh, yeah.
working that hard job that he was doing. My dad was always calling him and cheering him on and telling him how proud of him he was.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Right on.
so,
Right on. Well, and speaking of songs, you mentioned earlier that Mark Cicero song.
yes.
And I have that queued up, and I wanted to play that. So if you guys, if you don't mind, let me put that on here. Let me know if we hear the audio on here. Thumbs up audio, yes, no?
Yes, I can hear
Okay,
it.
cool.
I hear it.
I'm born in Cologne, raised in the Canal Zone, watching ships in the locks under the Panama skies. With his wild heart, he found his first love, fishing the shores among the changing tides. A painting now enshrined for all to see, a palm tree and cityscape beyond the bay was his first step towards the artist he would become. Around the globe his art hangs on full display. From the family he loved to the students he taught, he gave color and meaning to the world he sought. And though he artistic eye. This quaint little town became his magical place. Dancers in their traditional dress, celebrating in the streets. He captured their style, beauty, and grace. From the street peddlers with wooden carts to the village fishermen toiling on the sea, he saw art as they went about their daily work, blending colors and hues of their life to be. From the family he loved to the students he taught, he gave color and meaning to the world he sought. And though his days of painting are no more, the masterpieces he created will forever soar. Al Sprague, father, teacher, artist, and friend. We are all colors on his canvas.
It's amazing.
That was such a fabulous song. I mean, he couldn't have wrapped up. I mean, he must have read my book or something. I don't know, because those things that he picked out were just.
It was a story. I mean,
I was going to tell him. I
every
said
time I
he's in
listen
here
to
because
that
I see he
song.
commented on here.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted
Mark's
to tell
always
him
here.
thank
Right
you
on,
for
Mark.
writing that song. It's a really good song. I listen to
Grew
it
up
pretty
with
often.
Mark.
So.
Yeah, no, Mark
Thank
did a
you for writing that, Mark.
fantastic job. He did. He really. Mark has a real talent for capturing the essence of the Canal Zone, and this was certainly one of them as well. You know,
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of those stories were
Yeah.
very relatable in far as his stories, and then when he was on, a lot of folks that were chiming in that had taken his classes, and you know, talking about being on the steps of the admin up there and drawing those landscapes and stuff. So yeah, he did a bang up job for sure. You know, Mark, well done there, Mark.
Way to go, Mark.
For sure. But so now let's talk about Al Sprague, and again, his legacy and his wonderful art. And I've got, you know, the website up here. Quite a few things going on there. Don't forget, guys, on the screen there, you see the banner, Panama Art October discount. So the month just started. A lot of stuff there to get loaded up on and get ahead of the Christmas shopping. Get it done now. Get that stuff ordered before the Christmas rush, before the shipping rush and all that. And then, Cassie, anybody that wants to, that lives here in the States, that's going to the Canal Zone reunion in Panama, do you recommend they just order stuff from the website as opposed to having to go down there and travel with it, or what's your thoughts?
No, because if they're down in Panama and they would like to buy something and they don't want to take it back with them, we can always order it from our website and have it shipped directly to them. And we usually cover the shipping of that cost for them. So, so we're glad to do that, so that they don't have to worry about taking it back with them.
Sure. That's what we call the Canal Zone way.
That's it. That's how it works, man. We figured it out.
That's my little, what is it called? What is it called when you get a little gift? A petunia. That's
there you go.
There you go. But one of the things also I wanted to tell everybody is, since we're a sponsor at the Canal Zone reunion, everybody will get a bag that registers. And in that bag, you're going to have a little card in there that will be from us. It'll be like a little postcard. And then on part of that, you could bring it to our booth. And we're going to have 2 raffles that are going on. One is just like a merchandise raffle. So anybody that comes by my booth, they can put their name into the hat and we'll draw a winner at the end of the reunion. And the second one will be something of a higher value, maybe a limited edition, a canvas, or something like that, that we will raffle off, but you would have to buy. Like something like maybe like every $20 you get a ticket or something.
Sure,
like that.
Of course. But what you're going to get in return is going to be something quite valuable if you win it.
Exactly.
So, right on. Well, that's fair. That's fair. So again, guys, don't forget to check that out. And in the meantime, pre-holiday 25. Don't wait for the holiday season. This is, I guess, almost like a Prime Day thing, right? For the entire month of October. right? So check that one out. And then again, same thing goes for Alfred's Goods here, Posh's Perch. We just had that website up, poshesperch.com. Same thing there. There's a discount code on there, pre-holiday 20. Get your discounts there, guys. Get ahead of that shopping schedule. You know, in November you're going to be spending money on Thanksgiving and holiday shopping. And if you're going to Panama, you're going to be using the lame excuse that, oh, I don't want to spend money, I'm going to Panama. So buy the stuff now. You get a great discount on it, and check out their websites, man. So there's
Yeah, we have part of our holiday store. I put a little category like gifts under $30. So
perfect.
Things that you can go and buy that are under $30.
There you go. And there's so many things out there. Let's go through a couple of the things on your website here, and then we'll come back and chat a little bit. And by the way, how are the Razorbacks doing football wise? I know they had a little, it was close last week. And by the way,
you see my cup, right?
I do see your cup, but I also, regardless of the I guess excuses, whatever, but you did have a Mississippi
We have a little
State
coaching change.
Yeah, you did. So I guess it was a little. I guess you were. What would you call it? Stumping for the new coach.
I was ready for it. Let's say it. If I was saying that Sam Pittman had to go, then that means it was time for him to go.
Well, I mean, if there's ever authority on the Arkansas Razorbacks sports teams, it certainly would be Cassie. But so Mississippi State, what was the story on there? And you mentioned that's an alma mater as well.
You want to share that,
I never
Alfred?
Graduated.
He never graduated, but he did go to Mississippi State for 3 years.
Well, if they win a championship, then you can be like right on Mississippi State. Otherwise, you're like,
yeah, I haven't really paid attention to sports in a while. I'd rather just be outside, really.
I hear you.
I'm the one.
Did you ever go to a game and listen to that damn cowbell?
Nuts about it.
Oh, he rang that cowbell.
Oh my God, that is.
Yeah, I also had a bunch of beers.
Well, I think they kind of go hand in hand, though. I mean, I think it's the only way you could put up with a stadium of cowbells all night long. If you didn't have a few beers, I think it would drive you nuts anyway. But yeah, that's an interesting tradition that they have down there at State. So, well, hopefully the Razorbacks will do well on that. But
yeah, it's supposed to be raining, pouring down rain tomorrow at game time against Texas A&M.
Oh, that'll be a good game. Texas A&M's up and down. You can get them on a bad day.
The pouring down rain, Willie?
Well, fingers crossed. I mean, listen, this has been the year of upsets in the SEC, so I think anything can happen.
We're due for one.
Yes, you really are. Are you going to be going to the game?
Oh, yeah, we have season tickets.
Of course. Listen, I've seen her bundled up in 30-degree weather watching a softball game. So, yeah, she's definitely going to go to a football game. But, all right, well, let's talk your website here because there's a lot of stuff on there, guys. Where do we want to start? You tell me where to navigate to and what we want to talk about because listen, guys. Panama Arts it captures everything Al Sprague, and it doesn't have to be a picture on the wall. That's what's really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff here. So, yeah, go.
So we're starting at the holiday store.
Okay.
So let's go to calendars first. You're already there. We got the calendars.
Did I miss something here?
You got to go down to calendars. Scroll down. There you go. Click on that.
All right. There it is. Okay.
Okay. So these are always one of my biggest sellers at Christmas time because why not have a calendar where you can look at an Al Sprague piece of artwork?
Sure.
So we do this year. We have the Fishermen through the years, the Panama Canal Memories, and all the Panama Canal Memories are consisting of all of my dad's older pieces, like from 1970. Probably all around 1970 to 1980.
And that's about the time that iconic stamp image came out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then those are the paintings that we're going to go see at the Panama, the administration building, and during our tour.
Is it still going to be 2x2? Or are they going to let you guys?
I haven't worked that out yet, but I bet you it's going to be 2x2.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, those are iconic images. Again, that's that nostalgia of the Panama Canal that you get to see every time that he captured there. And the other cool thing I noticed, these are pretty good size, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really big size. They're like, I don't know the size off the top of my head, but click on one of those real quick.
Okay, let's see here. All right.
And click on the full description. It says how long. It's 9.5 by 17.25.
Almost 18. So that's a pretty good size. So I mean, again, it's hanging on a wall there. You're looking at artwork while you get to check out a calendar. Anyway,
exactly. So you can click on one of those small images, Willie, and it will show you what like each page will look like.
Oh, right on. So each month, then you're going to get
I
another
did something
image.
a little different. You can see that you kind of have like a smaller or reflection of the painting in the actual calendar.
That's really
itself.
cool. It really is. Yeah, look at that. And of course, the best one is December. That's the best month. But very cool. Right on.
Is that your birthday, Willie?
It is, of course.
When's your birthday?
The 9th, December 9th.
Okay, well, Dad's birthday was the 21st.
Oh, right on. Very cool. Yeah, those December birthdays are kind of fun, but in a way, you're like, wow, man, I kind of miss out, man. You know, because parents tend to be like, well, you know, you already got birthday and Christmas, so we're gonna wrap them all into one, you know. But nonetheless, it's cool.
So these calendars are great to have. They've been great for people to give as gifts to people because it's like sharing Panama with someone else that would appreciate it. So
yeah, for sure,
and for the entire year too.
Exactly. They're actually 13 months, so you get from January all the way to the next January.
Oh, right on.
So
heck yeah. Right on. Okay, so there you go. That's the calendars in the holiday store. And here's the other one that's really cool. You know, again, especially if you're going to be traveling to Panama this year, you might have some more expenses, is these gifts under 30 and under. So a lot of cool stuff there. Again, you still can celebrate and enjoy that amazing Al Sprague art and not break the bank. So a lot of cool stuff there.
Yeah, again, and the coasters, those are new for me.
Okay.
They're just little small coasters. They're round, they're square, and they have cork back, and it's just a great way to throw a little bit of Panama onto your table or anything like that. So
love this one, Castles of My Heart. That's so cool. I grew up on Barnaby Street in one of those places. So that is so cool. That definitely brings, and that's so the cool thing. Al Sprague captured the Canal Zone in Panama like nobody's business. Every one of those pictures, if you live down there, you can relate to, you can identify, and it's spot on the way he caught them. And it's absolutely amazing. So that's really cool. These coasters here. Again, guys, this is stuff $30 and under. Those great tote bags that are awesome. The coffee mugs. Greeting cards. There's a lot of cool stuff here, guys. Definitely check it out. If you want to go specifically Canal Zone, there's Canal Zone items here. So I like how you've got this broken up so that if I want to get just Canal Zone stuff, I can go find exactly what I need there. Again, that's that beautiful, iconic, you know, El Prado and Barnaby Street style housing, I guess you could call it.
And so people sometimes will ask me, what is a giclée? A giclée is just a fancy way of saying a high resolution reproduction.
Giclée.
Giclée. It's a French way of saying it's a print.
Right.
A high res print.
Everybody knows giclée.
But we can print them on all types of surfaces. So we can print them on paper. We can print them on canvas. We can print them on metal.
Yep. There they are on a throw pillow. You've got them there. You've got them on the mugs everywhere. I mean,
how about T-shirts? Because T-shirts are real popular now.
Yeah, T-shirts from Alfred on Alfred's site.
I was going to say, yeah, that would. We're going to go back to your site here in just a moment and catch up on some of those as well. But some cool stuff there as well. And this is really cool here, guys, because you know Zonians were big into fishing. There's a lot of avid fishermen in the Canal Zone community. You want to get some Al Sprague, that whole fishing vibe. There it is, man. Just all in one place.
So I can share a little bochinchi. I hope I don't get in trouble for it.
We'll
delete it if we have to.
It already.
So the bochinchi is we're working on the possibility of having an Al Sprague invitational fishing tournament, like open water, like deep sea fishing tournament in Panama next year. Not this year,
right?
In 26, but in 27, that will be correlating with the Canal Zone reunion.
Yes, wow. And you heard it first on this show. Like,
okay, I hope I'm not in trouble, Alex.
We got you covered.
Like I said, we'll delete it. I'll go in and delete it all, and there'll be no proof that you said anything. Don't worry.
We're always breaking news here, especially Zonian news.
No, that's awesome. So again, guys, this holiday store has some great items there. There's some stuff under 30, and again, guys, if not just paintings, you can have throw blankets, pillows, mugs, cups, you name it. What was it? Gilet? What you say? Giclée. I mean, come on. I mean, you got everything here, guys, right? And then again, the reproductions, right? Listen, guys, these are iconic pictures. The originals I mean, they go for a lot of money. This is a renowned artist now, but you can get some amazing official reproductions here as well. And there is so much in this collection here. It's not even funny. I'm going to go to that Tropic Star Lodge because again, that's right up the alley there, and we can transition over to Pasha's Perch from there as well. But I mean, this is kind of what you're talking about next year. This is kind of what you might be envisioning is some
it
deep
won't
sea
be a
fishing.
Tropic Star Lodge, but it will
No,
be.
but it'll be that deep sea fishing nonetheless. That
But we
what
are
you see in these
working.
pictures here.
We're working with some people that have connections with Tropic Star Lodge on how the
Oh,
best
right
way
on.
to put it together. But
Very good.
so these pieces were pieces that he did for Tropic Star Lodge. They have several of his originals there on site. That was one of his favorite places in the whole world to go visit was
Right.
Tropic Star, and he would go there and paint. And so actually after he passed away, they had a phenomenal, wonderful dedication to him that
I
they
saw
wrote.
that. I remember that. Yes, they were
And
very
they
fond of him.
named a special place in like the
Yeah.
residence hall that is after him. So it's now the Al Sprague Residence
on.
Hall or something like that. I don't know what the official name is.
So, Alfred, speaking of fishing, and you're out 5 months in the Bahamas there, I imagine you probably weren't doing a lot of grocery shopping.
Well, you'd be surprised. I'm not as good of a fisherman as my grandfather. I
Okay.
found that out real quick.
This is becoming very
But
much like your
I did do a
grandfather's
lot of
story.
diving and a lot of fishing, as much as I could. I wasn't as lucky as I thought I'd be. I actually lost 30 pounds in the Bahamas. I went from 185 pounds to 155 pounds.
Okay. All
So
right.
I lost a ton of weight, and attribute that to just being very active. But I actually didn't catch as many fish as I thought. But I still caught fish. We still went diving a lot, shot some fish, and I went diving as much as I could. And I could do it all day long. So
Sure. Now, did you go with like a group, or you just kind of show up in somewhere and hey, I'm Alfred, and who are you?
yeah, I mean I crossed with a friend across the Gulf Stream, but once we got
Okay.
across, he left me, and I was just on my own. There was like people I met. Let's see, like the beginning of the trip, I went across to the Grand Bahama. Actually, I got a good one. I went to Freeport, and you'll never believe who I went and saw. I went and saw Jerry Coffey Jr. If you guys know who Jerry Coffey is.
Yes, of course.
I went and met Jerry Coffey. We hung out, had some beers. He provided me with a bunch of duck. He had just shot a bunch of duck.
Nice.
He went out and he had a bunch of duck there. He packed it all up and sent it with me to the boat. But I met Jerry there. We stayed in touch all season. And, he was always giving me advice on what fish I could eat and what fish I can't.
Sure.
Because in the Bahamas, you can't just eat every fish that you catch. So,
Okay. Is that more
so,
because
yeah.
of danger or because of laws?
Danger.
Okay.
Ciguatera is very common in the Bahamas. If you eat the wrong fish, you can get pretty sick.
Okay.
So,
The parasites and stuff, I imagine.
yeah. But I did meet people along the way that I had met before I'd gotten across just from sailing.
Okay.
And then, most of it's just meeting new people. So, I mean, I was alone for a lot of it. But I did meet a pretty good group down when I got down south. And we
Cool.
kind of cruised back up after that.
Right on.
So Alfred is involved with an app that is developed for specifically people that are on boats that are traveling different places. A lot of them are sailors, but some are motorboaters, I believe. I'm not sure, but it's called Sea People. SEAPEOPLE. Sea People app. Anybody that's a boater, go up and look that up because it's like a little Facebook kind of for.
Sure.
Well, I
for
could
people that
give
are
you a
on
little
boats.
spiel. I mean,
Alfred
I'm
could
an
give you a whole
ambassador,
talk
so-
about it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
let
tell
me
us
give you a
about
little spiel because I've literally been selling this app up at the Annapolis Boat Show for the past the boat show's over now. But anyway, yeah, it's a little app. If you like to go out on your boat and you like to keep up with your trips and your adventures, you can track your trip. Also, you can share your location, and that way people can keep track of you if you have service. Also, you can message other boaters around you if you choose to.
Sure.
So it's a really good app. You should go check it out. It's called Sea People. Sea People app's free to download on any store. So
That's cool.
check it out.
Now you mentioned when you sailed out, you crossing the Gulf Stream. Is that something that's like a challenge, or is that
Yes.
What's the story
Yeah,
behind
it's
that?
pretty always gnarly.
Okay.
The Gulf Stream is always the current's always running around 5.5 to 6 knots, and so when you're sailing, you know,
And this
you
is going
can't,
along
if
the
wind
coast
was
of
coming
Florida,
from the
correct?
east, then I can't go across, right?
Okay.
But if the wind's coming from the north, the waves get really big in the Gulf Stream, like huge and dangerous. So the Gulf Stream is usually a challenge to get across. A lot of people try to go across when there's no wind and it's like really calm, but I like to sail, so I went when it was pretty gnarly.
Of course.
But I got across, but it was not comfortable. It was not a comfortable trip. It was 18
That's a
hours
very
just
Al
beating into
Sprague
the
way of
waves.
doing things.
Yeah,
To say the least.
yeah.
So that's cool. Now, had you done something like that before, as far as understanding how to sail through that kind of stuff and whatnot, or
At
as
this
far as your
point,
experience boating?
I'd had a little bit of experience. I mean, I taught myself how to sail. I bought the boat in Michigan a couple years ago in 23, and then I just would go out every day and taught myself. And then I read a lot of books and, watched a lot of videos and figured it out. And then, I did a lot of sailing before I'd gotten down to Florida. So I was pretty prepared once I got down there.
Okay.
And then by the time I got back up, I'd say I'm pretty seasoned.
Right on.
My engine died. I was coming up between islands. My engine broke and there was no wind. And I was floating out in the middle of the ocean, like 16,000 feet of water. And I couldn't move anywhere. Couldn't see land, probably about 30 miles away from land.
Right.
So I just pulled in the sails, went down below and took a fat nap. And when the wind came back, I kept sailing. The wind's not going to go forever. So
You can imagine as a parent.
I was about to say, Cassie's like, I don't want to hear this, man. Again.
No. I knew because luckily we have opportunities to follow him. He has a Garmin on his sailboat, so we can always tell where he is. And he actually messaged us before when that happened and said, "Hey, listen, I just want to let you know that there's no wind. I'm just going to take the sails down. I'm going to just hang out here. So don't get worried if you go and look and you see it. I'm in the middle of the ocean with not going anywhere.
Right.
I'm fine."
He's not broken down. Yeah. He didn't sink.
Right.
Nope.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Well, walk us through some of the offerings that you have here as well, because again, these shirts, like the one you have in that picture there, those are cool shirts. I love those Hawaiian type shirts and whatnot. So I think there's a really
those are a hit. We've been starting to come out with more just regular T-shirts. If you go, there should be a section that says tees over there.
Right on.
So we got a couple new designs out here. A lot of block prints, a lot of fishing related T-shirts. They're really comfortable. They're comfort color shirts, so they don't shrink and they don't fade.
Nice.
And they're really comfortable. But yeah, there's most of these are like fishing or diving kind of types of shirts, but they're casual. You can wear them out every day. I try to wear them every day. They're the better.
I love these with the fish on the pocket on the front, and the big.
Yeah. That's kind of my, and it's not my official logo, but it's kind of my insignia, or I don't even know how to pronounce it. But it's the second logo.
Cool.
So yeah, that's the snapper. Is the logo, is a secondary logo of ours. Yeah.
And that's actually one of Dad's little drawings that he did.
Yeah, so everything's his artwork.
Everything that we publish on the back of the shirts are all his. I mean, because when he was not doing fine art, he was always doing something.
Sure.
So like this one on the back of here I died laughing. One time I was at his house and we were going through all these drawings of his, and he came up with this drawing and he showed me, and he had a song that was called Amberjack Blues. And it goes, Amberjack Blues, these flippers feel like shoes. What the hell am I doing here anyhow?
I love
the fish is going down and sharks are coming round. My aching body needs some air right now. So that was like the little, chorus.
Sure.
And so you would have to blow it up a little bit to see, but it says on there on the Amberjack Blues, the Amberjack Blues is what it says.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And
I really like that T-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. So, those people, there's a lot of people that went out on his boat with him, or that was a common thing. We would go out for the weekend on the Pasha when I was in high school.
Sure.
And we would go out for the weekend and we would fish all day. Then we would anchor, we would have our dinner, and then he would sit down on the back and he'd pull out his ukulele and he would just sing all these songs to us all night. And we all knew the songs. We grew up hearing the songs.
That's so
cool.
cool.
So that when I saw that, I just said, "Oh!" And there's a little bit of information about the song too.
Oh, nice. Okay, very cool. Yeah, it is, and there's the lyrics too.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. And guys, there's plenty of sizes here. Oftentimes you don't get the 3XL, 4XL ones there. A lot of different colors to choose from. So great deals, great looking t-shirts, guys. Definitely check them out here.
Yeah, I have that new T-shirt. Do you still have that artwork that I sent to you? Because I don't have it online to sell, but we're going to have a special.
Let me pull that up.
It's on my Facebook page. We're going to have a special design. It's also one of Dad's cartoons that he did, and it's about the Balboa Yacht Club, and it's called A Zonian Friday Night, and it says Balboa Yacht Club Panama on the back. And my dad used to laugh and he used to tell me all the time, he used to drink. Then he quit drinking when he was about the time I was in third grade. He stopped drinking. Right. So he was a recovered alcoholic. But when he did drink, he used to go to the Balboa Yacht Club all the time to drink. And he would run into all of his students at the Balboa Yacht Club. So he kind of nicknamed it his alternate homeroom class.
Right.
No, he just called it his homeroom.
So he did this drawing, and he was so adamant to show me this drawing when I was going through his drawings with him. And he said, "This is the Balboa Yacht Club. It's the middle bar, the circle. You know how it was like at like a circle. You know, it didn't circle, but it was at
right.
You know what I'm talking
about?
Here,
we can show you. We can show you what it looks like. We're on it every Friday night. We're at the middle bar. That's what our
backdrop is.
Or your backdrop is. Okay.
Yeah.
So I put it on a shirt, and it's going to be only available at the Canal Zone reunion. And I have it on my webpage on Facebook. On Facebook, I have it on Facebook, and I'm asking people to tell me what color they like. We did them in long sleeve shirts. I'm trying to find
it on here so I can pull it up. Is it on your Facebook page?
It's on Sprague Art.
It's on Sprague Art Facebook
page. I shared it on CZ Bratz, and I shared it on Panama Canal Society too.
Got it. Okay, let me go to that one. I can pull it up here real quick. Oh, there it is. Okay, Zonian. Now that is really cool. Okay, let me share this.
It's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I like long sleeves. My favorite.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah, I put
that is cool.
That is so cool. What a great looking shirt.
Someone smoking a cigarette. If you guys always remember our days, Friday nights at the Balboa Yacht Club, that basically wraps it up right there.
No kidding. I love that shirt, man. That is really cool.
So it'll be available at the reunion in Panama, and I need to know from you guys what color you like, and if you like the long sleeve, or would you prefer it as a short sleeve shirt.
I'm down for the black ones. One short.
You like the black ones?
I do, and I would like a short sleeve one.
You'd prefer it? Well, we could always bring either, but
yeah. But I love that, man. That is
me too.
So capturing us in the bar there. That is such a Friday night.
And I put the Balboa Yacht Club insignia on the front.
So. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, that is fantastic.
Sign me up. I want one before they're sold out.
Absolutely. No, that's great. Well done. Okay, so now going back here to Pasha's Perch. Again, pashasperch.com, guys. Easy to remember. A lot of cool Al Sprague stuff there. Stickers and more. This is the other cool thing. I mean, you guys, especially if you're here in Florida, man, you're always out at the beach at a pool somewhere. Well, I mean, you talk about a cool towel, man. Everybody's going to turn and look when you got one of these towels out there, man. So definitely check them out.
Again, the fishy one's my favorite. The one in the top middle.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Sharp. Yeah, that's a good one.
And we have towels also on Panama Art that are different than these. These are the ones that we did through Pasha's Perch, but on PanamaArt.com we also have beach towel.
Perfect. We'll go.
They have the Panama Canal on it, or polleras, different things like that.
I love that sticker there. Look at that's perfect. And that really, I mean, that's if there's a fish that's emblematic of fishing, it would be a red snapper. I mean, it's kind of goes hand in hand there. So let me see what else we got here. So this is where Alfred's talking about his hand doesn't put it on, put an image out there, but he can spot one and then put it on the lens of a camera and then take some iconic photos. Here's some beautiful stuff here, guys. Really, really. And photography now has really surged as an art form that's becoming collectible, and people are really trading and exchanging, especially I think
Keep
with the
scrolling
advent of,
down. There, my favorite one's down a little farther. I like
okay,
that one, Charleston girl right there.
look at that.
That's my favorite.
That's
With the
awesome.
blue dress.
And now what's your thoughts when you see these things? And these are all pictures you're capturing, right?
Yeah, so I was on my way north on my boat. I'd stopped in Charleston for a few days, and I just would go walk around town with my camera, just trying to put the culture of the place into the
Sure.
lens, pretty much. And I saw this girl walking down the street, and I just she just looked like Charleston to me, so I just snapped as many photos as I could, and that one was my favorite.
Yeah, very cool.
My favorite is, I like that one, the Journey Back Home. I like that one.
Journey Back Home.
Because anybody that goes down to Charleston knows those little, but I like the next one, the guy that's taking a break.
Oh yeah, look at this. Yeah, it's been a long day. And
Yeah.
Charleston it's pretty humid there and warm, isn't it? Most of the time.
Yeah, it's pretty warm. I mean, it was in the dead of summer when I got there. I didn't get back to the States until like the end of June, beginning of July. So yeah, it was probably middle of the summer by the time I was in Charleston.
Now, had you planned on staying down that long out in the Bahamas?
No, it just happened. I started chasing women, and you know how that goes.
What a great story. I'm going to go chase some women down in the Bahamas and grab a sailboat. I'll see you in half a year.
Well, my husband, who happens to be an Al too, he and I went down and met him in the Bahamas for a week at the beginning. I guess it was in April. So it was kind of at the beginning of his trip. But all of his real excitement started after that.
Of course. Well, that makes sense.
Well, no, I got caught in that gale. I got caught in that gale before I saw you guys.
That's right.
Nassau.
You can
I
share
got
that
caught out in a gale, and I was in it had been blowing really heavy from the northeast, and then it blew heavy from the east. I woke up in the morning, and it was uncomfortable, so I got up, and I pulled up the anchor, and I was like, screw this, I'm out of here. And I get out the inlet in Nassau, and the waves from the northeast are just ginormous, so big that the cruise ships aren't even coming in.
Ooh.
And I'm like, uh-oh.
Bad move.
Guess I'm not turning around, so I just kept going. I rode with it, rode through that gale around to the other end of the island, and then, anchored back out and waited for it to pass. But
yeah, but what
that
happened?
was pretty gnarly.
What happened during that gale?
Oh, I lost my dinghy, my first dinghy.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yep, it happens, but it wasn't worth turning around for. It would have been too dangerous, so I just let her go.
Yeah.
Hey, Willie, ask him what's the name of his dinghy?
Yeah, do tell.
The name of my dinghy is Wilson.
Oh yeah, Wilson.
Yeah, and I got Wilson 2 right now, and Wilson 2's made it a couple more miles than Wilson.
Have you painted a face on it?
No, but I need to find someone to do it. I've been trying to find somebody to do that.
Yeah,
I think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, well, you do have some art in the family there somewhere, so maybe somebody will definitely do that for you. That's really cool, though. Collared shirts again. This is what he's wearing now, and these obviously are more expensive, but these are some good looking shirts here, guys. That whole fishing style and that Hawaiian style. There's some really good looking stuff here. Some great colors on these. I'm a fan of the black and white shirts anyway, but there's some cool. I love this one here. That kind of split level of the fish.
Yeah, yellow fish is
that
a good
was
one
good too.
Yeah, very cool. Good stuff there. This is the one you're wearing, right? The Running Dorado?
Yeah, the Running Dorado.
Oh, look at that. That's awesome. And ladies, we're not leaving you out here. There's obviously
these are new. These are new.
Well.
We just came up with these, and
very cool.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll keep bringing out some more designs.
Yeah, heck yeah, absolutely. And then again, you got the drinkware, the bags, and the hats. Let's check out some of those hats.
Yeah, check out the hats. The hats are great.
And those are those embroidered?
No, they're not embroidered. They're directly printed.
Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. And you've got a fanny pack there as well. A couple different colors. That's cool. Absolutely. Good looking hats there, guys. And different colors on those, of course, so you can.
Yeah, all of them have different colors. I think every single one has like 4 different colors on there.
Yep.
Yep.
There you go.
What?
I'm just reading what HT just
That's
wrote on
hilarious.
there.
Never
Never
ask
ask
anyone
anyone
the name of
the
their
name of
dinghy.
their
That is
dinghy.
great.
That's great. That's
The Canal Zone way.
yeah, right. For sure. For sure. Awesome. Well, let's go back and go to Panama Arts because again, there's some other stuff there that you have. Let me see if I can make my way back. Back.
One more click.
I know, right?
If you go to the holiday store and go down or the fine art merchandise, either one, go to fine art merchandise. You can go to the beach towels.
There they are. Okay.
So these are the new beach towels that we
Wow.
have this year. So we have a Canal Zone one. And then the jungle has been really popular. People have liked the products that we've done with the jungle. We had never really done a lot of
Right.
reproductions on merchandise of the jungle before. So we threw that out there. We have a canal, and then the other one is that beach scene. That's a classic of my dad's that he did a long time ago, like in the 1970s. The original hangs in my my stepmother's house.
That's amazing that if you look at the water there, almost looks like a photograph the way he
Yeah,
captured it.
yeah.
I mean,
That he
that's
was a
awesome.
master of light. He
Yes,
really
indeed, and
was.
that's all that is. I mean, that's a master at light for sure because it really does look like it's shimmering. That's
Yep.
so cool. That is amazing, and that's on a towel, guys. That's a great look. Absolutely. And then, of course, more fine art merchandise because again, this Al Sprague is an accomplished, world-known artist here, guys. He's this is there's some really cool stuff here. But if you're not going to get just a picture to hang on the wall, you got the beach towels, these blankets. These are very popular. These throw blankets, and they're always very comfortable. And if you ever want to just veg or binge watch some TV, man, what better way to do it than a nice, comfy Al Sprague blanket there?
And we sold a lot of those blankets, and they come in 3 different sizes.
Oh, right
So
on.
I just wanted to give everybody a little bit of information. You see those top 4? Those are the new ones that I just released this year.
Okay.
You see they look a little different
Yeah.
than the pictures that are on the lower ones, like the polletas outlined.
Yeah.
Because that's one that I took a picture of the actual product. So
Okay.
I don't have other ones in my inventory right now, but I just want everybody to know that it's not going to look like a picture per se because they're all woven with
course.
with the yarn,
On
so
fabric.
it's going to take on a little bit different look.
Sure.
Those are the images that are going to be woven into the
Right.
the blanket.
Yeah, those are awesome. Those are beautiful. Again, I mean, your dad just captured Panama, the essence of Panama, like nobody's business.
And I've had people that have bought them and put them up on their wall.
I was
I've
just
had
going to
people
say
that
you can
put
hang them up
on
like
their
that. Yeah.
couches or their beds or whatever. But so it's totally up to you guys what you want to do with it. But we go as high as 60 by 80. So the largest size is 60 by 80.
No, it's 9:13. All the drunk yachties are coming to the hotel. So if you hear that through the microphone,
it's happy hour somewhere else as well, right?
yeah.
And by the way,
sure
guys,
is here in Annapolis.
on the PanamaArt.com website, you can also access Apparel by Pasha's Perch there. So you can also check it out there as well if you're at it. No, there's a lot of really good stuff on here. And again, guys, don't forget, as we have on the bottom there, let me switch the banner again. You got those discount codes for the month of October, PanamaArt.com or PashasPerch.com. And make sure you do pre-holiday 25 and pre-holiday 20. Get some great discounts, guys. Load up on that gear now because you're going to be spending money in November and December. Go ahead and do it now while you got that extra money to spend.
And Willie, I just wanted to let you guys know, Pasha's Perch is part of Sprague Art, but if you purchase things on Pasha's Perch, it goes through Pasha's Perch website, and the PanamaArt.com, it goes through that website. So you can't add Pasha's Perch's merchandise into your cart on PanamaArt.com.
Gotcha. So it's linking it to his site then and purchase from there.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
Right on. Oh, there you go, guys. But either way, very convenient way to access them both. A lot of great stuff here. And then any plans for future Al Sprague or Panama Arts or Pasha's Perch endeavors or new items or things that you're working on? Obviously, we have to start talking about that.
We
that
do
deep
have some
learning.
endeavors and some collaborations going on. Currently, we're trying to collaborate with Sea People app to try to get his name out there and maybe collab with them on some merchandise for them, and then hopefully share the story. We have reached out to Alex Reyes and Mike Bolton, see if they would be interested in putting together some kind of short film that I can use for that specific collaboration. And we're also collabing with a nonprofit organization called Chasing Bubbles. It's an organization that helps island kids get past their fear of the water and get out on the water on boats and start chasing their dreams. So we're going to collab with them this year. I'm good friends with the person who runs that organization, and his brother was one of the people who motivated me to get out there on the water. So we're also possibly collabing with a marine. It's an anchor company, but we'll see where that goes. I don't know if that's going to play through.
But anything you need to put out there, by all means.
Yeah, we're trying our best to do what we got to do to really spread the word and get his name out there, and because when people figure out who he is, then they realize how crazy he was and how not only him as a artist,
Zonian he
was
was
as a person of the water. He was an avid diver. He was a great fisherman. He was more than just an artist. So we want to get the whole story out there.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to Diablo Bait and Tackle store.
Oh yeah.
With Magoo's. They have sold his collared shirts.
Nice.
They're in the store. They are currently out of inventory, but they're working on adding more to their inventory. They also sell his Chichipati lures. I don't know if you guys know it, but Dad designed and patented Chichipati lures.
He mentioned that when he was on the show last year.
Yeah. And which was funny because Alfred and I went fishing with the captain down in Panama, and I beforehand I was talking to him and I was like, "Hey, listen, would you mind if I bring some lures of my dad's?" He knew who my dad was.
Right.
He's like, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll try something." We get on the boat and I give him the lures. He goes, "Oh, Chichipati lures!" So he knew about the Chichipati lures and everything. So
and didn't you guys catch a bunch of fish?
Yes.
Got a lot of really good sized mackerel.
Yes, I
We
remember
caught
that
a lot of
picture.
mackerel that day.
Yes.
We're actually going out. I'll give a shout out to him. His name is Rolo, and he took us out last year, and he's going to take us out again this year. So he's a great guy, and he actually owns a T-shirt and embroidery company in Panama, and he worked for the tourism department for many years, and he is. He's my go-to now in case we decide if the T-shirts blow up and we want to get them made in Panama. We're going to go to Rolo and get him to help us out. So
heck yeah. Well, and speaking of Panama and tourism, how did the whole Copa Airlines thing come about?
Oh
That's
yeah,
really cool.
I had to be quiet about that for so long. So last year, before Dad passed, we were in the negotiations with Copa Airlines for them to license some photos. We gave them the idea. They contacted us actually. They had been doing for the last 2 years. They've been doing these little amenity packets in their business class that had just a little stamp that had some kind of art on it, and it had Copa's thing. And I said, well, my agent in Panama, her name is Becky Bolton. I said, Becky, I can design some of these amenity packets that look a whole lot better and highlight my dad's artwork.
Right.
And so I put together a whole proposal, and I shot it over to them, and they ended up doing they licensed 15 products. 15 images, and they're going to release 5 a year for the next 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And it's in their business class. They get, when you go on hops that are more than 6 hours, and they give you the amenity packs that have the talks and the
of course,
everything. Well, that is what it's on. And so we are going to be featured basically for the next 3 years on Copa's business class as when they give
Basically
out
all over the Americas. That's
Pardon me?
awesome. I said all over the Americas because
all
I mean,
over
obviously
all over the world. They
Yeah.
travel all over the world now. They go across to Europe, and
Yeah, it's
they're the
amazing.
largest Latin American airlines in Latin America.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. I mean, I've talked about it before. When I graduated from BHS, my first job was working for Copa out at the airport when they had
That's
one
right.
plane, and it's amazing now to see this gigantic fleet of aircraft when, we had one plane that did everything. That plane was never on the ground, man. It was
So part of my payment, I got 3 first class tickets.
Oh, nice.
Between the United States and Panama. So I'm using one when I go down to in December.
Heck yeah.
And Alfred, we may be using the other ones when we go down in January, but I'm not positive yet.
Best way to travel.
Now, I got a question about your dad. Did your dad ever dabble in furniture design or architectural design?
No.
Anything? Just okay.
I mean, he used to carve out statues and stuff.
He was a carver. He was a
but he would never do.
He did a lot of wood carving and stuff like that. But no, he never did any kind of furniture.
Well, then he built that amazing ship model too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, with popsicle sticks.
Yeah. But I mean, that thing is incredibly elaborate.
Yeah,
if he was to make, he would make a table. He would make furniture if it was something he needed to use.
Okay.
He would build himself a table to do whatever if it was had some kind.
So very much a
utility
MacGyver type by necessity.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I love it.
He was always inventing tools. I had to laugh when we were cleaning out his studio after he passed, because the things I came up with, I found he had a paintbrush that he had taken. You know how you have a shelving thing that goes like this that the shelf sits on?
Sure.
He connected one of those to the paintbrush so he could hold the paintbrush like this. The paintbrush was like this on it.
Right.
So he could hold it like this to paint. He adapted things all the time. He had all kinds of things. So the other funny thing that I found was a whole list of his jokes. There were prompts for his jokes. They were just like one little line, and it was like the nun, or the person that goes to Italy, which is my absolute favorite joke. Would you like me to share it to you?
Please do.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. All right. So there's this lady, and she and her husband are going to go to Italy, and she's so excited. She goes to the hairdresser, and she says to the hairdresser, she tells her, "I'm going to Italy. I can't wait to go." And the hairdresser goes, "Oh my gosh, don't fly on Air Italia. They're just horrible, and they will treat you very poorly. And you think you're going to eat great food in Italy, but you really aren't. It's not as good as they say. And if you think that when you go to see the Pope, you're going to see him up close, well, forget it. He's going to be about this tall because you're going to be way back about a mile away from him in a huge crowd." So the lady goes to Italy. She comes back. She goes to get her hair cut. And the lady goes, "Oh, let me tell you about my trip to Italy. We got on Air Italia, and they were so wonderful. They actually upgraded us to first class because we were celebrating our anniversary, gave us free champagne. They couldn't be nicer." She says, "We got to Italy, and I couldn't stop eating the food. I mean, it was so great. I don't think I've eaten better food in my whole life. And, we went to the Vatican, and we were walking through the halls of the Vatican, and all of a sudden I got this tap on the back of my shoulder, and what are they called? The guards,
right.
The royal guard was there, and he said, 'Congratulations, you've been handpicked to meet the Pope.'" And so he took us into this room, and we're in there waiting, and all of a sudden the door opens, and in comes the Pope. And I bow down to kiss his hand, and he says, "Who the hell does your hair?"
Oh, that's fantastic. That
is probably one of the only clean jokes that my dad used.
Yeah, this isn't the Owl Show, so we gotta keep it somewhat G or PG rated here for
the
sure.
Other one is there was a man that jumps out of an airplane, and so he jumps out of the airplane, and the parachute won't open.
Right.
So he says, he's going down, and all of a sudden there's a guy coming up, and he goes, "Hey, do you know anything about parachutes?" He goes, "No, but do you know anything about gas stoves?" Because he's going up because the gas stove
Right.
exploded.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Well, the one story I remember that made till today makes me laugh that your dad shared with us was when he was a kid. One of his buddies, his dad, for some reason had a coffin under his house.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
So they decided to pull a prank on the bus driver or something like that. So one of his buddies got in the coffin, and your dad and his buddies convinced the bus driver to take him to the Corozal Cemetery.
Right.
And then on the way there,
one of those people though.
Yeah, right.
And on the way there, he popped open the coffin, his buddy, and the guy popped out, and the bus driver and everybody flew out of there. That the bus driver actually jumped out of the bus before the bus was even stopped.
Yeah. I said it rolled in, hit a lamppost or something because he jumped out.
Yeah, because it was filled with Jamaicans, and
Yes.
how
very superstitious.
very superstitious, and he opens up the coffin, and the guy sits up, and he's all painted white and everything. That was one of my favorite stories.
And then your dad when his stories, and then he busts out with the West Indian accent. My dad loved hearing that, man. He's like, listen to him, he just switches gears like that, especially talking about the fishing. I tell you what, if you turn the lights off and my dad started talking Bayesian, you would not know that he was a white guy. Right, 100%. 100%. I mean, he had it down pat. You could tell that he actually spoke it. It wasn't just, mimicking per se.
Right, exactly.
Well, when he told us when he was a kid, he used to go fishing down in Loboco when it was the Silver Roll Loboco.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that's probably where he learned his Bayesian down there.
That and the lady that raised him, as well as me and my brother and sister, not my sister, but both my brothers. Her name was Louise, and she was Jamaican. And I swear it's because we had Louise that I didn't learn Spanish, because she didn't speak Spanish to us. She only spoke Bayesian. And so
and that was in the zone. You're right, because a lot of us, when we had maids there, if she wasn't Panamanian, you wouldn't speak the Spanish. You kind of spoke whatever.
She was Panamanian, but she came over. I mean, her family came over from the canal workers and everything like that. And she spoke English to us, but it was Bayesian English.
Yes.
So the first time I said thank you, I said donk you.
Right.
My mother was like, "Oh my gosh."
No. Yes, where'd you get that from? You sound like your dad. That's hilarious. No. Well, listen, guys, this has been a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to meet you, Alfred. You and I have chit-chatted a couple times online. I met you last year in Orlando, but I'm really glad that we got to share your story, because it's again a continuation of that Al Sprague adventure, which his life was an adventure without a doubt.
Right.
We heard all about that, and we're glad you've taken up a lot of it.
His life has motivated me to have one. So
yeah,
if you're interested in following along, I have an Instagram page, Sailing to Pasha. Go ahead and give it a follow.
Yeah, definitely, guys, on Instagram, and I'm gonna put it up here in the.
In a true
Zonian YouTube channel.
Well, I have started a YouTube, but I have a lot of stuff going on right now, so I'm probably gonna put that on hold.
Okay, right on.
Sailing
to Pasha is on there, guys, on Instagram. Give them a follow there, and share his stories, because they're a lot of fun. He's that 5-month adventure. It's all there if you want to watch and see what that was all about. The good, the bad, the fun, the ugly, and
it's
everything
all
in between.
Rainbows, I promise.
Yeah, I know, but it's cool to see that and see that you're carrying that torch, and you're gonna keep that
legacy,
that Sprague spirit alive and well, and keep it going for that next generation, and like you said, spread that Al Sprague story, to the world, and congrats on everything you've got going on, Cassie. Again, congrats on all your great success, what you've done with Panama Arts and everything, especially again with that Copa Airlines deal. What a fantastic gig that is. So
I just want to give a quick shout out before we close, because I'll get in trouble if I don't, but I'm calling out to all the class of 86.
Yes.
Get your butt down to Panama for this reunion. We started planning this. Willie was on my committee, and then when Dad passed away, I kind of just passed the torch. But So, but we decided we're just going to have one big party on Friday night at the Balboa Spinning Club for for Balboa. And if Corundu, I mean not Corundu, but if Cristobal 86 is down there, they're more than welcome to join us.
Of course.
And it's
all three of them
at the spinning club right there on the canal. It's going to be great. It's going to be at sunset, and then we're going to have food and drinks, and you can buy tickets. I don't have the link right now with me, but I can always put it up somewhere sometime.
Yeah, and we'll share it on the canal.
It's on our Facebook page. If you're a member of our Balboa High School Facebook page for class of '86, but I'm just highly recommending that everybody just take advantage of everything that is going on with the Canal Zone reunion. When we first started trying to plan this, we were trying to plan all these activities that the class would do together, and it just took away from what the Canal Zone reunion is all about.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to just have one party where we could see our friends and be together, but encourage everybody to take advantage of everything that committee puts together, because they work really, really hard, and every year it gets bigger. Last year, I think they had over 550 people there.
No, it's amazing.
They've outgrown a lot of their places. Now they're in 3 hotels. Then a lot of stuff goes on at the Radisson, but now there's things that are going to be going on at the Marriott, and there's also things that are going to go on. Mi Pueblito is where Shorty and Slim are going to be singing. The final night, and on Saturday, it's going to be a lot of fun. So, get on that website, Canal Zone Reunion. I think isn't that what it is?
Yeah, canalzonereunion.com. You got it. You can't miss that one. It's how hard it is to remember that.
And sign up.
Yeah, for sure. No, absolutely. In class of '86, get yourself signed up, get yourself involved. It's going to be a great dinner. And, like Cassie said, there's other activities going on. And as a class, we can go on those together, and kind of hang out together and do the train ride together and all that stuff anyway. But make sure you get signed up for that dinner. It's in an iconic location, a beautiful view of the canal and the bridge, because you're not going to have that bridge much longer with all the construction. So, this may be the last year to get a great view of that, what's left of that, our Balboa view there. So,
well, the spinning club is down at Diablo. So, I don't know if you can see the bridge from there.
You probably can't now with the way as big as that port is now. Yeah, no kidding.
Port, no way.
Yeah, but either way, it's still a fantastic.
But it's a great place. And then those of you who don't know, it's not like we're going to be at the point like we used to go.
Right. We're not in a bohio there on the benches.
It's an enclosed setting, has air conditioning.
Yeah, it's a full-fledged restaurant. It's
not like we're going to go down and do a Christmas tree burn or something like that.
Yeah, we're not on picnic tables at a bohio. Don't worry.
Although, don't you know? I mean, that was like the most iconic place to have a party.
Oh, yeah, those are some great parties out there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'd like to say one more thing before we go, too.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
If anyone's interested in following along a little more intimately, if you guys download See People app, you can follow me, and you can literally see my tracks, how far I've gone, pictures from my sales and stuff.
There you go. And it's all one word, seepeople.com.
seepeopleapp.com, I think. You can get it on the App Store or the
cool.
Google Play Store, all that. It's available.
Well, I'm going to throw this website on there. I'm not sure if it's the right one or not, but if not, you can always Google it, seepeopleapp.com.
It should have a Poseidon, Poseidon thing on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there you go, guys. So definitely give him a follow there and check him out. And, when he's got his next adventure, throw something in there and say, hey, I know that guy, man. That's pretty cool. A joke is the shortest story. Yeah, no doubt, right? Absolutely is. Well, listen, again, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us. Again, Al Sprague is a big, big deal to all of us in the Canal Zone. He's an iconic, member of the Canal Zone. If there's that Hall of Famer, that Mount Rushmore, the Ancon one, his face would definitely be one of them that would be up there for sure. So thank you for sharing that with us, and enjoy the rest of the holiday season. Guys, don't forget to check these guys out at pashasperch.com and panamaarts.com, and there's some great deals there, and get yourselves ready for the holidays in some Al Sprague art, guys. So
yep, and come see us in Panama.
Yes, for sure.
And if you live in Panama, put it on your calendar for December 4th at Te Cafe. Shorty and Slim are going to be singing for part of that. And it's going to be a great way to celebrate the 70 years of painting Panama. So come and join us if you're in Panama in December.
Yeah, please do, guys. That make it a really, really cool event. This guy absolutely earned this position as Panama's artist, and so we want to celebrate that and give back some thanks for providing some great visuals of Panama for us.
On a side note, and I guess this is okay to share, but we're also taking him back to Panama, taking him home.
Oh, beautiful.
Scattering his ashes, the family will. We're going to be, Zane Andrews has gotten us his boat, Cheers, which is one of the boats they use a lot of times for the Canal Zone reunion. And they're going to take us down to the edge of the Balboa Yacht Club pier, because I don't know if the Balboa Yacht Club pier exists anymore, because I don't know if anybody saw it floating away.
Yeah, no, they did. They managed to recover it and they repaired it. We were asking about that the other day, and someone chimed in that yes, it is back in business. So,
but we are taking him back. That was his request. Is that's where he wants to be, at the end of the Balboa Yacht Club pier. So we will be scattering his ashes, and who knows where he will go from there.
To the canal, which is very much Al Sprague-like, right? Where it goes is where it goes, right?
Exactly,
so
exactly.
That's a fitting way to pay him another tribute.
And his grandson.
Yes, indeed, absolutely. So awesome. Well, listen again, guys. Thank you so much. You guys have been awesome. Cassie and Alfred, you as well. You guys know you have an open invitation anytime you want to come back and chit chat with us and tell us some Zonian stories, or just show us what you got going on with your merch. We love to push it out there for you guys.
Well, thanks for having us. It's always a fun time to be with you guys, and I'm honored that I was the first guest. By the
way,
you were.
You absolutely were. I always remember that. And as Ricky pointed out the other day, we've gone over 100 shows now, so it's
101
really cool.
today. Yes.
Hey, I don't know if you can see my background, but can you?
Yes.
So this is my house, and those are my dad's artwork. So there's a.
There we go.
You see in the middle, that's a Bahamian scene.
Okay, right on.
And then over on the far right is the Balboa Yacht Club pier, actually.
There you go.
And then over on the left is one of my very favorites, the orange vendor on J Street. So and you can see on the side, there's a Raspadero and there's a Poyet on the other side.
And that was, your dad captured every piece of Panama. You know, it wasn't just one piece. It was the architecture, the jungles, the food, the artistry, the fishing, the beach. Yes, even the military. I mean, it just, if there was something that went on in Panama as part of Panama, he captured it. Amazing memories. So
unfortunately, my kids grew up with Panama all over the walls.
Right.
Like that was like, right, Alfred?
Yeah, pretty normal. You don't even think about it until you get older, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody has artwork on their walls like this. I remember coming into my dad.
Until you finally think about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's amazing, and kind of like what we've learned doing this show now for a little over a year, that we took a lot of things for granted down there, and then suddenly when it's gone, you realize you get, there's an added appreciation,
Well, that's what I love about the Canal Zone reunion down there in Panama.
Right.
What they're encouraging is, yes, it's changed. It's different. It's a whole lot different. Don't expect it to be walking in. Don't expect to walk in and it be exactly the way it was when you left it. Because
you're not going back to the Canal Zone.
But that's why they give you all these outlets to go and discover the great things that Panama is doing, because they are doing a lot of great things. And people that tell me that they won't go back because it just breaks their heart to go back because it's different, I say you're missing out.
Yeah,
you're
right.
Missing out.
You are.
Because there are some great things that Panama's doing down there.
Yeah, right. There you go. More for everybody else. But it's true. You really are missing out on.
I'll go back and eat it up for you.
We left a great legacy down there, right? And we left something that helped start something wonderful for Panama. So if anything, they're almost honoring the efforts that the Zonians did to help establish that place and create what it is there today. So, yeah, I've always said it's sad in one sense because that was, where we grew up and it's not there anymore. But the legacy that was left there, and we can all be proud that we played a role in that. And then many Panamanians have tried to emulate the United States and become this big prosperous country, and have been quite successful. So it's, it's kind of cool. It's almost one, hey, let's pat ourselves on the back, man. We helped these guys
Yeah,
start a
Alex
great
is
country.
working really, really hard at getting the Zonian population recognized as being a part of like a Panazonian population, so that there's not a bad connotation for what
Right.
Zonians
Subculture.
are.
Yes, and that's what, like Ricky says, that they're considering the Zonian a subculture of Panama that's will go down
Exactly,
in history as
exactly.
part of the fabric of Panama, even if it was only for that 100 years. But
Panama would not be what it is today without
without
the
a doubt,
Americans being there.
100%, 100%.
Well,
And we
here on
wouldn't
the
be the way
show,
that we are if we didn't have the Panamanians.
Yeah, exactly. The same way they gave us something wonderful as well. No kidding.
So, my little toot your horn.
I did though, but it's absolutely everything you said there is absolutely spot on, and embrace what Panama has done with what the gift that was given to them, and they've done good with it. They've done well with it. A lot of us were like, oh, they're gonna screw everything up. They've done really well with it, guys. So it was
Well,
left
we
in good
still
hands.
love Panama for what Panama is.
Indeed.
So go
Indeed.
down there and enjoy it, and just you can't go to New York City and it can't
Right.
be exactly the way it was when I was in high school. It's
Correct.
not. It's changed, or anywhere else. Things change. So accept the change and go and enjoy it and love it, because it's all in our blood.
Yeah. And I have a feeling, because from everything I've seen from the previous reunions, once you get down there and you get in the midst of that, all those ill feelings are gone. Now it's just like, wow, this is great. This is so much fun.
Exactly.
And you're going and seeing some places that, oh, I remember this. And especially if you're taking a spouse or a kid that hasn't been there, like Mr. Ranson did last year with his son, it's great to see all these places and be able to tell your family or spouses, hey, this is where I grew up and this is where I.
And the other good thing about the reunion, and I'm sorry I'm talking so much, but
No, we're good.
the other great thing about the
Mom, I
reunion
still have to
down
walk
there
across
thing.
town.
is Yvonne, who's in charge of the vendors.
Right.
It's not going to be vendors like you see at the reunion in Orlando.
Right.
So me and Raposa are the only real vendors. Well, there's some new ones this year, but last year it was a showcase of the San Blas Indians that came in and sold their work. You had the
Right.
shoe person that came in and built the shoes for people on their feet. You had just the traditional art. They brought Panamanians in to share their art with us.
More to share culture than business.
Yeah, it's not Americans over there selling their goods.
Yeah, right.
They're Panamanians that are sharing. So just like you would get when you would go to Stevens Circle or to
Right.
the YMCA, they have those people there selling their goods. And so that's why they call it Stevens Circle.
Yeah, no, it's a perfect name, perfectly named for it. These guys are doing just a fantastic job. So kudos to the entire Canal Zone reunion group, because it just keeps getting better and better. And I'm excited to experience it for the first time here in January. But anyhow, listen, guys, thank you again so much. Have a great weekend. Good luck with everything. Reach out if you have any new promotions, anything you want me to throw on the air. But again, thanks for making this night an awesome, fun night for us.
Remember, these are through October
Yes.
31st. So
Yep, you got it. You got it. And then if you got
Let's
something
wrap
for
it
November,
up.
let us know. But
I'm wrapping.
all right, guys, listen, take care, guys. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we will talk to you guys later.
Go Hogs.
Yeah, go Hogs.
out.
There you go. Take care, Alfred. Take care. See ya.
Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.
All right. Hey, that was cool, man. That was a lot of fun.
And it's all part of the Al Sprague legacy that's
Yes.
going to keep the Canal Zone alive for many, 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 many years to come.
Indeed. Listen, I've always, since that interview last year, that was one of my favorite moments on this show, without a doubt. It was Al Sprague being Al Sprague. It was his life growing up. It wasn't an art show per se. It was a show about him being a Zonian, man. And that was the funnest part, because, for me, it was very relatable. I was a rebel rouser, man. And so I absolutely can dig somebody that made that Zonian youth what it should have been. Just a great, great place. You just were so fortunate to have grown up down there. And yeah, man, it was really cool. I've always been very, very appreciative of that interview. And like I've said before, Cassie was my first guest on here. So I've always, had a special place in my heart for that. And listen, Cassie and I, go way back, from being in class together and whatnot. So it's been awesome. This has been a great month. We've had some really, really fun shows, some great stuff there. Last week's show with James Slater was absolutely fantastic. That whole music and playing and stuff. I got a lot of feedback on that. People really dig
me too.
the whole piano bit and stuff. So we've got some stuff in the works. James wants to come back. He absolutely enjoyed it, and he's one of the things he said that he enjoyed the most was the banter with the folks in the crowd. Throwing in comments and stuff. It really was an engaging show, and so it's what makes the show a lot of fun, guys. Is you guys out there in the audience chiming in and oftentimes reminding us because we don't remember everything, So. But good stuff, everybody. Thank you once again, and again, guys. Listen. Oh, and by the way, check out our new backdrop here. We got
a new exit video.
We've got a really cool show next week. Warren Gibbs is going to join us. Warren Gibbs is class of '87. We've mentioned his sons a couple of times on here that they're into the taekwondo and that competitive, wrestling and stuff, whatever. And they've got a big tournament this weekend here coming up. They're going to join us next week to talk about that because they've got a goal of there's a big global jiu-jitsu tournament that's going to take place in Panama, I think in a year or two. And they're planning on going down there. And listen, these two kids have had amazing success. These guys are big time. They are training with a guy that has a school here who actually grew up in Corundu. He spent a couple years down there, and so there's another Zonian connection there as well with him. So that should be a lot of fun. I think it's exciting to see for some of our Zonian family has gone on to do some big awesome things. So I'm excited for that. That should be a great show.
Yeah.
And
keeping the Canal Zone alive and into the future.
Absolutely. So it's a lot of fun. But again, guys, thank you so much. And thank you to Cassie and Alfred for joining us tonight. But everybody have an awesome weekend and looking forward to you guys next week. Ricky, man, get us out of here, dude.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Dictionary. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Join us and thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you.